Hi, and thanks for tuning in today. I'm Kim. I'm one of the coordinators of the Cascadia Tantra Festival. And as such, I'm getting this great opportunity to introduce you and interview some of our speakers and keynote presenters. And today I get to introduce to you a woman that I serendipitously ended up in the front row of her show, fell in love with that show, and now get to bring her in a different show to Cascadia. So I want to introduce you to Eleanor O'Brien from Dance Naked Productions.
Hi, Kim. So good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about the show that we're gonna get to see, and how your show, which is not labeled as Tantra in any way, but you and I both know it totally fits our audience here at the festival. And just a little brief about your show and how it fits in.
Well, this show came about because I had an experience when I was up at Brighton Bush with a lover. And to give you a little background, even though I consider myself a very sex positive person, and I grew up in a pretty liberal household, I had a lot of internalized shame about my genitalia. Mm-hmm. And so I had a really hard time enjoying oral sex, receiving. Mm-hmm. I was like, I consider myself a cock whisperer, but like when it came to receiving, I was like, Mm-hmm. And I had a really hard time getting over that. But I had this experience at Brighton Bush where I was staying at a friend's cabin, and the bed was built up off the ground. It was like 3 or 4 feet, and there were stairs up to the bed. And I was sitting on the bed, and I said to my lover, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm sitting on an altar. And he said, then let me worship. Mm. And I sort of had this like, but in my mind, I sort of created this fantasy about being like a temple prostitute, and like how I was receiving the young supplicant. And this was about honoring the goddess. And I'm telling you, that fantasy really for the first time allowed me to open up and receive his honoring, his gift. Mm. And I didn't tap out, and I didn't push him away, and I didn't try to squirm. I just received, and it was so powerful. It really felt like it opened up a new, in the show, I call it a portal to the divine, where I had this incredibly powerful orgasm, but it felt almost like a drug trip, in that I felt connected to like other beings and, other dimensions. And, it just was so rich. Yeah. And afterwards I was like, what the hell just happened? Yeah. And so I knew I had to write about it. And that was the basis for this show, was discovering this portal.
Excellent. I love that. I love that. I use the term portal and Tantra as a portal, and sacred sexuality and consciousness, and what we can access through that part of what's built into our very bodies on purpose. So thank you. I'm so looking forward to seeing this one. And then while you're with us, you're going to do the show, but then you're also going to do a creativity workshop, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to do Seducing the Muse, kind of a condensed form, because it's a 2-hour workshop. Mm-hmm. And this workshop is something that I developed out of, I devised theater, which means I create it from scratch with people. And that really came out of doing theater games and storytelling exercises. It gives us the opportunity to play and do games and, try on different characters and things like that. Around the topic of sex, but it isn't fraught with whether or not I want you or you want me or are you attracted to me. It's not about hooking up. Mm-hmm. It's just about engaging in play with other people.
So thank you for being our play fairy. Excited.
My pleasure.
Excited to play with you. And for those of you who are watching this, Cascadia Tantra Festival is August 28th through September 1st outside of Seattle. The information is around, and you can click the next screen and get to our website, cascadiatantrafest.com, and do join us. We'd love to have you. It's going to be a delightful weekend. Thank you. Thank you, Eleanor.
Come play.
Yay! Come play.